You're done here. My daughter is joining the company, so I need your resignation. Today will be your last day." That was how the president fired me, abruptly. Without warning, on the morning of the 20th. I was stunned, completely at a loss for words. It was supplier payment day, a critical time for our operations. Long-standing vendors were paid via bank transfer, while others required personal visits, something I always handled out of courtesy and professionalism. "You look like you've got nothing better to do. I'm giving you the day off, just for you," the president added with a smirk. Then he shoved me out the door, which shut behind me with a sharp snap. I didn't even know how to begin protesting. "My name is Emily. I joined this small, family-run paving company right after high school and spent 10 years working in clerical operations, until today." The company employed about 20 people, when the current chairman still served as president. The work environment was warm and cooperative. He was hands-on, mentoring younger staff, while his wife, Catherine, regularly came in to help around the office. That all changed when he was hospitalized. Their daughter, Kelly, was talented and well-rounded, equally comfortable on-site and in the office. Her husband, who served as site manager, was respected by field workers. Though they were part of the founding family, they never acted superior. They were fair, approachable, and professional. It could have stayed that way. We all hoped it would, but life had other plans. Late last year, the chairman was diagnosed with cancer during our annual health checkup. He stepped down shortly after and named Kelly's husband as his successor. Everyone agreed it was the right decision. We wanted the chairman to focus on his health and hoped he'd recover. Then, without warning, the chairman's estranged eldest son, Tom, reappeared, along with his family. I hadn't even known Kelly had a brother. From what the senior staff told me, Tom had been a troubled youth, often clashing with the law. The chairman and Catherine spent years cleaning up after his messes. He eventually dropped out of school, got caught up in shady business schemes, and was ultimately disowned. After nearly 3 decades of silence, Tom returned, claiming he'd changed. In our small office, he addressed everyone directly. "I'm sorry for the past. Please give me another chance." The chairman looked hopeful. "I ask everyone to forgive Tom," he said, visibly emotional, though the staff were skeptical. No one wanted to reject such a heartfelt plea. Tom moved into the annex of the chairman's home, took on a role at the company, and his wife began helping around the house. Their daughter, who seemed to be a college student, visited the office once, but kept to herself. The chairman believed Tom had matured through hardship. Catherine was thrilled to have her son back and spoke excitedly about rebuilding the company as a family. But trouble followed soon after. "I'm the eldest son. I should be president," Tom insisted, creating immediate friction with Kelly and her husband. Though he put on a good front around his father, Tom contributed little. Worse, he demeaned the staff. "Manual labor is for the grunts," he'd sneer. "You're all just worker ants. Just do your job and stay quiet." Naturally, his attitude turned the staff against him. Some younger employees even confronted the chairman directly. "We can't work like this," they said. Still, the chairman and Catherine pleaded with everyone, "Please be patient. We'll talk to him." Soon after, perhaps due to stress, the chairman's health took a sharp downturn. He was hospitalized 3 months ago, and Tom took full control. Despite widespread support for Kelly's husband, the chairman and Catherine appointed Tom as president. Many felt their decision was driven by blood ties, not logic. Whispers began. Had they lost their judgment? Were they blinded by family loyalty? The once harmonious workplace became strained, heavy with unease. As tensions escalated, Kelly and her husband quietly stepped out, trying to keep the company afloat behind the scenes, with Catherine and Kelly now busy caring for the chairman. All the administrative work and politics, what we used to handle together was no longer. Overtime became routine. I often left the office so late that the day had already changed by the time I got home. Meanwhile, Tom treated office work as trivial. Most days, he disappeared into the hostess halls, racetracks, or gambling dens. My already strained relationship with him took a sharp turn over an expense dispute. Tom had been using the company's credit card for personal entertainment, and while I had let some things slide, this time he went too far. I handed the receipt back to him, trying to stay composed. "I can't approve this," I said. He raised an eyebrow. "Why not?" "This is for your wife's corrective underwear. It's not a business expense." His face turned red. "She's the president's wife. Of course she needs to look good. It's a legitimate cost." "That's not how accounting works," I replied. Still stunned he could try to justify $4,000 worth of underwear on the company dime. Then came his next idea, more absurd than the first. Fine, then let's make selling corrective underwear our new business. We'll categorize it as inventory. I stared at him, speechless. We're a paving company, I finally said. So what? We can threaten our clients, tell them if they don't buy it, we'll cancel their contracts. Easy money, $4,000 a set, he said, laughing. I was horrified. That's unethical. It'll destroy our reputation, I said sharply. From that moment on, he made me his personal punching bag. Day after day, he berated me in front of others. I considered quitting many times, but I held on, for the chairman, who had always supported me, and for my coworkers, who would suffer if I left. And truthfully, I couldn't afford to quit without a backup plan, so I gritted my teeth and waited for the right time. But the decision was made for me. I was fired. Still, I knew walking away without a handover would hurt the clients. Summoning my courage, I went back to confront Tom. I can't just walk out. Even your daughter won't be able to manage this workload right away, and today's the supplier payment day. Predictably, his face turned crimson. Shut up, I told you, my daughter's taking over. Today's your last day. As for the payments, let them come beg for their money, no need to pay them in advance. What? Isn't it basic business etiquette to pay for what we've purchased? I explained it to him patiently, as if to a child. His reply left me speechless. If that's the case, just threaten to switch suppliers, tell them we're not paying and they should give it to us for free. I could hardly respond. This wasn't just poor judgment, it was delusion. You're useless. My daughter's educated, she won't question my expenses like you do. You're all talk and no results. We don't need someone like you. It was clear, he wanted his daughter to oversee accounting, not for her skills, but so he could disguise personal purchases as company expenses. I sighed. Fine, but just know, I won't regret leaving. I packed my things and walked out. Still feeling responsible, I called Kelly, though I knew she and Catherine were overwhelmed with the chairman's health. This was too important. I told her everything and entrusted the rest to her. Once I left, the silence was unsettling. I'd gone from working non-stop to having nowhere to be, but being terminated without cause was a clear labor violation. I had options. Since our company was part of the middle company payment system, I was eligible for severance and 1 month's pay. The process allowed up to 5 years to file, and I knew the Labor Standards Office had a 2-year claim window. No rush, I could take time to recover and plan my next steps. For now, I decided to rest. I'd been working nights and weekends for too long. I took a short day trip to the beach, somewhere I'd dreamed of visiting. When I checked my phone afterward, I saw a flurry of missed calls and messages. One email, from Kelly, stood out. The payments went through. Everything's fine. Relief flooded me. I hadn't wanted to leave on bad terms. Then I listened to a voicemail, from Tom. Hey, what's going on? They're saying I'm not the real president. Did you know about this? Explain yourself. I actually laughed out loud. Then I saw a message from the chairman himself. I went straight to the hospital. That evening, I stepped into the room to find Catherine and Tom already there. The chairman, lying in bed, looked up as I entered. Emily, I'm truly sorry for my foolish son, he said gently. Tom, indignant, snapped, what's going on? I'm not officially president? Explain this. The chairman silenced him with a firm voice. Enough. After my call to Kelly, she had immediately told her parents. The chairman, even from his hospital bed, had reached out to Tom, who had been playing president without understanding the reality of his position. Do you really not know anything? He had asked. I calmly addressed Tom, who was still shouting in confusion. Tom, you never had legal authority. Your position as president was only a title. In business, that title doesn't carry legal weight. The person with actual authority is the representative director. That's the role legally responsible for the company's external actions. It requires a formal legal process to change. I continued, while anyone can be called president informally within a company, appointing or removing a representative director involves procedures under corporate law. That's why, despite your title, you didn't have the power you thought you did. 3 months earlier, when Tom was named president, there had been serious internal opposition, especially from Kelly, the site manager, and several veteran employees. In response, I proposed a compromise. Tom would serve as a figurehead while the chairman retained the legal role of representative director. As someone familiar with corporate governance, I knew what that meant. If Tom proved himself, we could formally transition power to him. If not, we'd either remove him or dissolve the company, with Kelly and the site manager already preparing to start something new. Kelly, however, had little faith in her brother's ability to change. The chairman and Catherine had still believed in him until the moment he unjustly fired me. That incident made them finally confront reality. If you want to be a leader, the chairman said sternly, then earn your employees' trust. I've told you that many times. Tom scoffed. Can't we just take care of the paperwork now? No, the chairman replied sharply. Our company offers shares to employees. Many of them are shareholders, Emily included. She owns 10%. That makes her a major stakeholder. We can't push forward without her support. And trust me, others won't back you either. Tom's face paled. What? I don't own any shares? None? I was planning to pass them on to you once you proved yourself. But now? I'm deeply disappointed. Were you only waiting for me to die so you could inherit everything? The chairman said bitterly, slumping back on his pillow. Catherine remained silent, her expression filled with sorrow. Defiantly, Tom snapped, so what? I'm the eldest son. Doesn't that make it mine by right? The company belongs to me. I can't forgive you anymore, I said, steady and clear. The chairman is the company's legal representative. I'm a shareholder. I have the right to call a shareholders' meeting and propose your removal. Tom stared at me, stunned. You? But, you were just a clerk. Tom, Catherine interrupted, her voice quiet but firm. Emily is right. No one here supports you anymore. Emily was the only one who believed in giving you a chance, and you squandered it. She turned to me. Emily, I owe you an apology. I'm truly sorry for the pain my son has caused you. Please, tell me how you'd like to proceed. I faced Tom directly. Mr. President, I no longer wish to work under your leadership. I'm resigning effective immediately. However, I expect full severance, 1 month's salary, and payment for all unpaid overtime and holiday work. As a shareholder, I also intend to pursue legal action through the Labor Standards Office to remove anyone endangering this company's credibility. I kept my tone calm and firm. As I spoke, Tom's face turned from pale to ghostly white. I added, Kelly has already begun visiting clients, and many have decided to switch to our new company. Most of the staff are following as well. No, that's impossible. I'll sue you, Tom shouted, his voice breaking. The chairman cut in. You have no authority to do so. I'm still the representative director. Tom dropped to his knees. He finally realized just how little power he actually held. I watched him in silence, feeling a complex mix of relief, sadness, and closure. Tom, it didn't have to end this way, I said softly. You had opportunities, so many chances to lead with integrity, but you ignored them all. In the end, this is simply the result of your choices. In the aftermath, the chairman chose to shut down the company. Tom was left unemployed. Desperate, his wife tried selling the infamous corrective underwear as a standalone business, but it collapsed. Their aggressive tactics drew legal attention, and they were eventually arrested for operating a pyramid scheme. When Kelly returned home, she found stacks of unsold underwear boxes abandoned in the garage. As for Tom's daughter, she eventually found work elsewhere. The details remain unclear. Today, I work at the new company started by Kelly and the site manager. I'm fulfilled, surrounded by people who value ethics, growth, and collaboration. I've learned to live more authentically, cherishing my relationships and honoring the dignity I refuse to surrender.